Good morning, my dear students. I hope you are doing absolutely fine. And today's class we are going to start a new chapter, that is atoms and molecules. In previous classes we have learned about matter. But what happens if you divide these matters into a smaller particle? Is it possible to divide these particles in a tiny form? It is possible? Yeah, it is possible, because in previous classes we have learned that matter is consisting of small tiny particles. In ancient time, Indian philosopher and Asian philosopher was discovering about what is the matter and what happens when this matter you are going to divide into a smaller particles. Indian philosopher, one of the famous Indian philosopher, that is Maharishi Kanda. Maharishi Kanda. He was a great Indian philosopher who have discovered that matter is consisting of small tiny particles. And if you are going to divide these small tiny particles into smaller form, is called as Parmanu. According to Maharishi Nanda, is the smaller particle of the matter is called as a Parmanu. According to ancient philosophy. Small particle of matter is known as Parmanu. When the time develops, scientists also have developed their theories about Parmanu. What is that Parmanu? Then later on, ancient Greek philosopher, that is Democritus, Greek Indian philosopher, that is, whose name is Democritus. He developed theory about atoms. He is only, according to Maharishi Nanda, the smaller particle of the matter is Parmanu. Then later on, Greek philosopher, that is Democritus, he developed his theory and he named this small particle as atoms. He only named this Parmanu as atoms. By 18th century, many scientists have discovered so many theories about elements and compound. In previous classes, you have learned about what is element and what is compound. Element is the only one particle which cannot be divided into a smaller particle. And what is the compound? Compound is which cannot, it is the combination of more than two elements or two elements which can be divided, and this compound is in the perfect form, or you can say one of the constant proportion. In today's class, we will going to learn about atoms and molecules. And with this, our scientist has developed two important laws of chemical science. Antony, whose name is Antony Lavoisier, he was the great scientist and he has developed chemical science. According to chemical science, that is law of chemical combination, and second one is the law of constant proportion, which we are going to learn in today's class. With this we will going to take a glance of Dalton's theory. What is the postulates of Dalton's theory? With this we are going to start today's class. First one is the law of chemical combination. Law of chemical combination. First law is law of chemical combination. What do you mean by law of combination? What is the statement of law of combination? It states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. This that is sodium sulfate. So here we got two solutions. What happens when we going to mix with each other? My dear students, for this experiment we need which is only available in laboratories. Weighing machine. Conical flask? No. We will take directly test tubes. It is better because we don't want much more quantity. Okay? Now, this is BaCl2 plus Na2SO4. Weigh this. Mix with each other and weigh this. So it is around approximately it is 300.23 grams. Okay? When you mix with each other, the ions make a separate bonding unit. How it is? That is, barium will make a bond with the sulfate plus Na2NaCl. Okay? It means when you mix this solution with each other, the PPT formation can be occurred. So what is that PPT? This PPT itself is a barium sulfate. This PPT itself is barium sulfate. As well as you got here one solution, that is NaCl, that is sodium chloride. Suppose if you are going to take this weight, then what is the result now? The mass of this barium sulfate and sodium chloride is approximately equal to the reactant. So, I hope you know the chemical reaction. This is the right hand side, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side, and left hand side is called as the reactant and right hand side is called as the product. So it is a reactant form and it is a product form. So as I told, the mass of the reactant is equal to mass of the product. So that's why this is the equal in a proportion. So finally we got the result that what is the law of chemical combination? That mass can neither be created and nor be destroyed. I hope you got the idea about law of chemical combination. In next we will going to learn about law of constant proportion. What do you mean by law of constant proportion? By naming say that you can observe that some compounds are constant proportion. Can you give me examples? What are those compounds? Simple examples, so many times I have given you. That is, any guesses? Water. Always you can proportion. Law of constant proportion. What is the statement? Any of the question if we asked you, first you have to write clear form. If we asked you state the two laws with example, then you have to separately write the statement, give the examples, then only you can finish your answers. So please remember, my dear students, don't get confused while writing the answer. So what is the law of constant proportion? That is, it states that elements which are present in a compound always in a constant form. States that in a compound elements are always in a proportion form. So as I told, what is a compound? It is the combination of two elements or more than two elements. It's called as a compound. So what is the law of constant proportion? States that in a compound, elements are always in a proportion form. We will going to take simple example, that is water. Okay, this is the water. What is the ratio of water here? Hydrogen is approximately 1.00, and so here two hydrogen. So two hydrogen. With this, what is the weight of oxygen? That is around 16. Atomic weight of the oxygen is 16. In next classes, we will go into detail about studies about atoms and molecules. But for today's class, only just remember these things. In detail, we will going to learn about what is the atomic weight and all. Okay? So just remember these things. What is the atomic weight of hydrogen in water? That is around 2. And what is the atomic weight of oxygen? It is around 16. So you can say it is around 1/2 by mass. Means 2 1 is 2, 2 8 is 16. So you can say that it is around 1/2 by mass. Okay, the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in water is around 1 ratio 2 by mass. Suppose if you decompose the water molecules, decomposes means what? Breaking of the bonds which bear between the oxygen and hydrogen. Suppose if you are breaking or decompose about 9 gram of water, you will get 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. If 9 gram of water decompose means breaking of the bonds. Decomposed, or for your purpose I am writing breaking of bond. You will get and with this so many examples you can collect. So these all compounds are present in a constant proportion. So once again I am going to repeat here what is law of constant proportion. State that in a compound elements are always present in proportion form. So simple example, that is about water, and it is atomic weight of hydrogen is 2 and oxygen it is 16. So it is all about 1/2 ratio. Here this is one concept. If you are taking the 9 gram of water and you are going to decompose it, so you will get 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. When time develops, scientists also have developed their theories about atoms. So in this, first scientists who have developed the theories about atoms, who names as Dalton, or you can say John Dalton. His name is John Dalton, who have developed the postulates about the atoms. As I told, many philosophers, many scientists are developing about postulates about the atoms. So many theories have occurred at that time. With this, who have first developed the postulates about the atoms, his name was John Dalton, or you can say Dalton theory, which we will going to learn now. Dalton theory about atoms. Dalton theory. Dalton theory, or you can say Dalton atomic theory. My dear students, in Dalton atomic theory, we are going to learn about some postulates about the atoms, which is developed by John Dalton. Dalton theory was proposed by John Dalton. What are the postulates of atomic theory? First atomic theory, that is, matter is made up of all tiny particles. In previous classes already we have learned about that, how this matter is consist of tiny particles. So he has developed this theory with this, that first postulate is matter consists of small tiny particles, which is called as the atoms. So matter is made up of tiny particles, which is called as atoms. So Dalton has proposed the theory of atomic theory, that is, matter is made up of tiny particles, which is called as atoms. What is the next postulate? Atoms are indivisible. As I told, when you are going to divide the matters in a small proportion, it will divide into what? Tiny particles. If tiny particles are there, how you can see that? So, what is the next postulate? That is, atoms are indivisible and cannot be created or destroyed. Atoms are indivisible and which is neither be created nor be destroyed. Third thing, atoms having a different properties, as well as atoms of the elements have a different mass and properties. Atoms have different elements have different proportion. Atoms of elements have different mass and different proportion. So totally 3 postulates we got now. Matter is made up of tiny particle, which is called as atoms. These atoms are indivisible and which is neither be created nor be destroyed. Third postulate, that is, atoms of elements have different mass and different proportion. With this, what is the next postulate? That in a given compound, the reality number of kind of numbers are present. What is the first postulate now? Atoms combined in a small proportion or a small whole numbers ratio to form a compounds. So as I told, the compound, what is the compound? It is the combination of elements, and what is the element? It is one of the part of the atom. So atoms combined in a small proportion or a small whole number to form a compound. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have taken down this. I am going to write here 4th and 5th on the above of the first. So don't get confused. I am going to write the with number. So don't get confused. There is a Dalton theory. 3 postulates already I have explained. Atoms of, what is the 4th postulate? That atoms combine in a small whole number, or you can say small whole number, to form a compound. And last and the least, 5th postulate is that in a given compound,